And the OLED one that's been announced, I think, which is the 15-inch OLED, which will be at IFA, but that's in the UK next year, but in Korea from this year, from November, isn't it?
Yeah, so what Sean's just referenced there is another technology, just to make things even more confusing, is a technology called OLED, which is Organic Light Emitting Diode. OLED is the benefit of a TV that's like the depth of a piece of paper. So it's absolutely stunning. I've seen it in Vegas in January. We offer a 15-inch OLED or active matrix OLED technology. It's, as I say, the depth of it is a piece of paper. It's 15 inches. So, Sony launched an 11-inch OLED, I believe it was last year, and it was marketed at around the retail of about about £3,000. So £3,000 for an 11-inch TV, you can imagine that no. So we will launch 15-inch OLED or paper-thin TV. We will have it at IFA. For those of you that are going to be going over to Germany over the next few days, we will have it there. And it will be launched in Korea first, which is obviously our home. It will be in the Korean domestic market in November, mid-November. We are led to believe it's going to be priced competitively. From the retailers have given an indication to LG it's going to be at a price point that's going to be more competitive. So the great thing about OLED is obviously the technology and the benefit of the paper-thin solution. The downside is the cost. If you can get an even balance between cost and benefit of that TV, obviously the consumer's onto a winner. So more likely the 15-inch TV will come across to the UK next year. So we'll be not just supporting LED, LCD and plasma and 3D, we'll also have our hands very much involved with OLED as well. But that's really at a real top end. In terms of retailer distribution, I wouldn't have thought it would get into many places other than Selfridges or Harrods or maybe Sound and Vision or maybe a selected top 10 stores in the country. But some interesting technologies aren't too far away now, and obviously you've got the digital switchover that's happening at the same time. You've got the HD switchover that's happening at the same time now in different regions. Obviously the Granada region in the northwest is the first region that's going to be trialled for HD over Freeview. So if you're currently watching Freeview at home and you lived in the Granada region, you would have the added benefit of being able to see the BBC and selected programmes from the ITV in high definition as well. But consumers to keep up with all of this is a real challenge. It's a challenge for the trade to keep up with it, and obviously Sean works very closely with the trade, as we do as well, and Dean's role as a product trainer going around the country, really to help the trade understand what these technologies and features are all about. Because the last thing we want to do is the consumer goes into the store and just gets completely baffled and confused about what they're being told. And let's be honest, but when you go into some selected electronic stores, the advice that you get isn't always the same advice that you would get direct from manufacturers. So we have a duty to educate the trade, but the trade also have a duty to educate consumers. And we offer like the LG Roadshow trailers that will be going around the country. We'll update that onto the LG blog as well. So when these new TVs get put inside the trailer, we go around the country. Dean and other training representatives that we have that work for LG will obviously be there. So for all consumers that come into the trailer and ask any questions, they can actually ask us, what's the digital switchover? What does it mean to me? What do I have to do? Tell me about LED, tell me about Bluetooth, and they're going to get first-hand advice from experts within the industry, because all of our technical and training representatives have all been selectively picked to be the best in the industry to offer the consumers that level of advice, which is what, as Sean knows by working very closely with LG, is one thing that we're very proud to have.
So are we going to see a Freeview HD TV next year?
God, I'm getting some very difficult questions now. Freeview HD is under a different chipset to what Freeview currently is within the TV. So Freeview at the moment is on a DVB-T1 chipset, which all manufacturers like Samsung, Sony, we all have that built inside the television. The next generation chipset that goes into the TV to access HD over the aerial is DVB-T2, which, without getting too technical, basically allows the chipset to offer high definition bandwidth through the aerial. The issue has been with the current DVB-T1 chipsets, what you've seen in all of these TVs here, is that when you send an HD signal through the aerial, it just cannot, there's not enough bandwidth to offer that level of quality. And even when Freeview HD is available, I think there's four channels?
Yeah.
So BBC, ITV, Channel 4 and 5.
Yeah.
So 4 channels. And to be honest, in 5 years' time, it will still be 4. That's not because they don't want more channels in HD, it's because there's not enough bandwidth available from the DTG to actually put through your aerial. However, obviously the benefits of satellite is it's almost unlimited of how many HD channels you can have. I think Sky now have about 33, 34 HD channels. They could add another 20, 30 over the next year. They could have a 3D HD channel because they're not restricted in terms of that bandwidth. Freeview HD for us is obviously vital because we want to offer all consumers HD, to watch HD for the World Cup. As we all know, it's been televised by BBC and ITV, offering an HD in June of next year. We are restricted, however, in terms of 40% of the UK won't be in a region that supports HD on Freeview. So Granada obviously will definitely be one of those locations, but there'll be many regions that won't be able to have HD over Freeview, so their only opportunity will be through FreeSat. So we're very much committed to offering HD for free. At the moment, FreeSat is obviously our main priority. Next year we will have a solution. At the moment, we don't know when. We're hoping it can be ready for the World Cup. But there's lots of negotiations currently going on in terms of the chipset manufacturers, and we hope that we'll be one of the first to have that solution. But really, I think all competitors will be very much similar timing to offer the consumers, because the worst thing is when you're led down a garden path with which TV to look at. And also when you consider that everyone's gone out to buy, as an example, the latest LED TVs that's on the market today, and they're watching Freeview on it, they're not going to be too happy when they realise that their HD-ready TV isn't actually HD-ready after all, because Freeview obviously won't be in HD for them unless they buy a set-top box. And after you've spent over £1,000 on a TV, you're not going to want to go and spend another £100, £200, £300, whatever the price is, on another set-top box and connect to the television. So, really good question. We're committed to offering that. I don't actually know when it's going to be at the moment. We're hoping it's going to be for June, but we're not as panicky as other competitors because we obviously have the FreeSat solution, which will give BBC and ITV in high definition for the World Cup in June. By June, it's available now in HD, obviously, but I think you'll see other competitors join the integrated FreeSat market as well. Panasonic went first last year. We've gone second. I think there will be other competitors that join.
Closed market? Is it only you two who have that?
Yes, it is. So I think the more people that join it is actually better for us because then it spreads awareness of that particular technology. But next year, obviously, the World Cup is going to be huge. As long as we can get through, which fingers crossed, touch wood, we can get through against the Croatia game. I think we've done a good job of making sure Modric and is it Eduardo also that's out for that game. So as long as we can get through our group, which it looks we're like odds on we're going to get through, watching England in the World Cup in South Africa in HD without paying a subscription for is what it's all about. Apart from Martin, of course, who will be watching gardening programmes instead.